Hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Ooh, how y'all doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for coming in. Ooh, my hair's a mess. I'm sorry, y'all. Oof. Anywho, it is what it is. It is what it is. How y'all doing? Oh, my eyes are messing with me. I can barely see, but I'm here. I'm here. Happy Monday. It's good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Ooh, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you being here. How's everybody's day going? How'd your week start out? Mm. It's June, y'all. I cannot believe it's June. Where did the time go? Where did the time go? It's like we are in the sixth month of this year. Time is marching on. And it makes me wonder, it makes me wonder. Have we done what we said we were going to do this year? Have we accomplished any of the things that we said we were going to try to accomplish? Whew, I don't know. I don't know. Hey, Mike, how you doing? How's your day? How's your week starting out? How's your month starting out? Y'all, it is, for me, it is growing season. Seriously, growing season. And um, I got stuff going on. I think my garden is getting away from me. And time is getting away from me. I'm going to light a candle, y'all, just because I feel like it. Yeah. Hey, GT. How you doing? Let me put some light on this situation. I'm not gonna let it burn too long because they get overpowering. I don't like them too close to me, anyways. We had a huge storm go through. Went from 93 to 63 in minutes. Wow. Yeah. Whew. Excuse me. Yeah. I don't know when the last day it was we had rain. I think we had rain Friday, Thursday, Friday, maybe. Did it rain Saturday? I don't even remember. I don't even remember um, the rain. I did not go out in my garden today at all, and I need to get out there and see what's going on because I know it needs water because I haven't watered in a couple of days. Hey, Brian Lynn, thanks for coming in. Weather for Minneapolis conditions are partly cloudy with a temperature of 70 degrees Fahrenheit. The wind is blowing from the south southwest at 5 miles per hour. And the humidity is 80%. Wow. GT says it hasn't hit 70 here yet, maybe in July. Oof. Uh, Look, all I can tell you that it's hot down here. It's hot in the south. We've had a couple. It did rain. I think it was Thursday and Friday. It rained. And so the temperatures have been a little bit cooler. Saturday and Sunday was a little bit cooler. It was actually nice to be outside those days because, the temperature was, excuse me, lower and the humidity was lower. So being outside was really nice. But Thursday, before that storm came through, oh my word, it was so hot. It was so hot. I was just standing there going, there's sweat dripping from places that I didn't even know sweated. It's like, oh my. And it was like breathing. You're out there and you're like, breathing is just breathing is hard. Like crazy, crazy, crazy. I don't know what the temperature is right now. I have so much to do though. So much to do in the garden. Um, and I'm behind. It's like, I'm so behind. It's crazy. I'm good to put peppers out now, I hope. I've got some peppers. I had tried to start some more peppers and they're not doing, my starts aren't doing. So I don't know. I do have some peppers out there. I put some out. a few peppers out. So hopefully I'll get some peppers this year. Some sweet peppers. I don't have any hot peppers. You're the hottest, Mike. You are. Weather for Montgomery. Conditions are clear with a temperature of 67 degrees Fahrenheit. The winds are blowing from the west southwest at, ooh, excuse me, 1 mile per hour, and the current humidity is 90%. Yeah. Yes, you are hot. Hey, God's desire for me. How you doing? Thanks for coming in. Monday Night Lives on YouTube. Yes or no? Thanks for coming in. What is your weather like over there? I bet you're probably about the same as it is here. You're probably God's desire for me. Your weather tracks pretty similar to what it is here. I mean, it's not exactly the same, but it's pretty similar. Oh goodness, life gives me. But anyways, I have like I said, I got a lot to do. I've got some new seedlings that I had, some new seed I put out last week. I got some more seed. Um, I got some more seed that I want to get started. I want to get my candy roasters out. I want to get my candy roaster squash out, and a couple other squash. And I think now is when I want to do it. So probably in the next day or two, I'm gonna get those started. I'm just gonna direct sow them outside where they'll think they'll do fine as long as I have at least 5 days where I can water them every day. I think I won't have any problem with direct sowing those. So I got to get those done. And I want to do some melons. I don't know if I have time to do some melons, but I want to try to do some honeydew melons. Um, and I don't know. That's probably the biggest thing. Y'all, any of y'all grow gourds? I need to bottle gourds, or what are they called? Birdhouse gourds, or any gourds. I don't know what all kinds of gourds are available. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I can't stop yawning. I'm sorry, y'all. Probably should go get me something to drink. But do any of y'all grow gourds? Um, and do you eat them? Do you your joints are hurting? Oh, Mike says it was 93 windy, and then storm dropped me to 63. Now it's 70. Got a headache for the rapid change. Yeah. And my joints hurt. Yeah. Weather for Fayetteville. Conditions are clear with a temperature of 59. Ooh, 59. Chilly. Um, yeah, that's right. Chilly. 59. GT. The wind is blowing from the west at 0, and the current humidity is 91%. Okay, I planted melon seeds yesterday. Yeah, I want to plant some melons. Not watermelons, but honeydew. Maybe. I like cantaloupes too, but I prefer honeydew, so I'm probably gonna just plant more honeydew. Um, so yeah. Um, but anyways, I was thinking I don't have any seeds for gourds, so I need to get some seed and plant some because I want to. I actually need um a gourd for um this art event thing I'm gonna do. I really don't have time to grow it, so I'm gonna have to purchase one. But I was like, well, I could still grow one for later. Cantaloupes mature fast. They do? I don't know anything about them because I've never grown them before. But I have seeds. I have seeds for everything. Well, everything except for what I need. Seems like every time I want to do something, it's like, oh, I don't have a seed for that. It's like, why do I just want the things that I don't have? Why don't I want the things that I do have? Yeah. I'm trying to decide, should I make myself a cup of tea or should I just have some ice water? Some water. Um, I have bitter melon started. I want the leaves. Okay. GT Junior with bitter melon, if you let them ripen on the vine till they turn yellow, the seeds inside are sweet. And you can eat it has like a pulp on the outside of the seed. They turn red and they're good. I'm just saying. I don't particularly care for bitter melon, but they grow really well. I had yeah, mine grew really well. I didn't have a problem growing them. Um, and they produce quite a bit. Um, so that was interesting um, to me. But the seeds are um, when the seeds turn when the flesh turns yellow and the seeds turn red, the flesh begins to get soft. They have yeah. Anyways, they're good. um, but yeah. So I'm excited for tomorrow to see what all is going on in the garden and to get some stuff started. I've got so much stuff. Y'all just do not know. I have so much stuff. What's that up there? Probably gonna cover up because I read 59 degrees and I got cold. I don't know why my body does that to me. It's like it's like, oh, that's cold. We're gonna be cold right now. Huh. This is crazy right now. But anyways. Who's growing tomatoes? I'll drop 4 tomorrow. Oh, I'll drop a tour tomorrow. Got lots growing already. Yeah, I need to do I need to do an update video on what's going on, especially what's going on in my well, everything. I had, I told y'all I put the potato in to get the slips off of it. Well, I have broken the slips off of them and planted them in places. I think I have at least 6 or 7 different ones that I planted, maybe more. Honestly, maybe more than that. I'm not exactly sure how many I got out there. I've got 3. I think I have 3 different varieties of sweet potatoes growing. I don't even know because I've just been, you work on it. You do what you do when you do what you do. And my hair is doing this craziness. Okay, stop. Just don't worry about it. It is what it is. But yeah. Um, and I do have a few. I do have a few cherry tomatoes, but I don't have any big tomatoes growing out there. And I want one. I want a slicing tomato. I don't know that I have time to grow one before. Um, I don't think I have time to grow one before the end of the season. I got 6 varieties of tomatoes. Nice. Oh, yeah. I need to plant some more cucumbers. I have a lot of cucumbers planted, but I want to plant some more because cucumbers will keep going if I think they'll keep going until they'll grow until frost. And so I want to get some more started out there. I have some that have flowers on them, but I don't know if they have any female flowers on them. I have to check those tomorrow to make sure. And I need to put some supports around them too. But yeah, Romans Robinson, Cherry Purple, Cherokee, and a couple of others. Okay. I only have the Sugar Bombs and the Geranium Kiss um, growing out there. So I'm gonna try this. I might see if I can get some more started um, somewhere. I don't know. Honestly, I want to put them in a container so that when the frost comes, I can pull them in the garage so they maybe keep growing. At least I can keep them going for a few more weeks after when the frost comes. But I don't know. I don't. I just don't know. I gotta get myself together. um, I messed around with those doggone Robinsons last year, and I had 4 of them in containers and didn't get a single fruit off of any of them. They all had blooms on them from different times, but yeah, no. Oh, the Berkeley tie dye. I have that seed. For real, for real. Um, but I've never planted it. I think my husband might have planted it this year. I don't know. He said something about planting it. Um, I just want a slicer. I don't even care what kind it is, just a slicer. Well, I do care because I like sweet versus acid. I like the more sweet ones, the less acid ones. But yeah, chocolate stripe. Yep. I'm not a big tomato grower. I think tomatoes are, um, they're too finicky. You need to, you have to do too much. I like easy stuff, but anyways, it is what it is. Um, but I want to create another in-ground bed um, for some more stuff in my backyard, and so that's what I'm gonna be doing tomorrow. I'm gonna be laying out some cardboard. Um, Maybe I don't know. I might just turn the soil. I don't know what I'm gonna do. See, once I start thinking about it and thinking about what I need to do, it's like, well, should I do this or should I do that? Should I do this or should I do that? I've got some things that need to go in the ground that, if they're still alive, that I need to put in the ground because they're in pots and they're about to get pot bound. So I need to go ahead and put them out. So I've got some stuff in the garage that I need to move outside. So yeah, that part. All right, Mike. So yeah, all of that. But yeah, I was gonna ask y'all something else too. Hmm, I forgot. But yeah, squash. How's everybody's squash doing? Have you planted your squash yet? Are you harvesting squash? I know most people are harvesting squash by now. Yellow squash and zucchinis usually are producing right about now. And so, how's that going for you? Um, I haven't planted any squash yet, so and I'm only going to be doing the candy roaster, and I might. There's another sweet dumpling. I might do sweet dumpling squash. That's the seed that I got from Free Heirloom Seeds. I got the sweet dumplings squash from there. I don't know anything about it, but I want to try it. Anyways, I need to go over there and see if they have gourd seeds. I need some gourd seeds. Anybody got gourd seeds? Any kind of gourds. I don't really care what kind it is. If you got gourd seeds, I need some seeds. Somebody drop me some seeds, 3 or 4 seeds. I planted squash late because I was sick for a month. Yeah. Well, you might be doing good for planting it late because you might get past the vine borer, um, life cycle. If you catch it at get a little bit behind, maybe that you won't get hit by it this year. Lord, y'all, excuse me. It's like first I'm yawning, now I'm sneezing. You got some. You wait a minute. You got some, okay. I'll email you, GT Junior. Have you grown it? You just got seeds. Have you grown them? I've never grown before. I want to. I want to taste them. But I also want some for the gourd itself. So yeah, my squash isn't doing well indoors. Yeah, yeah. I should have started it indoors, so I'll be ready to transplant it bigger. But I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna drop the seeds outside like I normally do, and hope and pray that they grow because it is what it is. If it doesn't do well, it doesn't do well, and I'm not gonna be upset about it. Um, I'm just gonna do my thing. Yeah, I love seeds. We don't need to talk about my habit. Look, GT Junior, let me just tell you, I can't say nothing. I mean, our habits are different, maybe, but our habits are the same too. I may or may not have ordered seeds last week. Just saying. um, yeah. May or may not have. I can't tell you for sure because I'm going to tell you right now there's a window open on my computer to True Leaf Market right now that's got something in the shopping cart. Now, I haven't pushed buy yet. I haven't pushed complete sale yet, but there's a window open to some seeds with seeds in the shopping cart right this moment. Because I start thinking about stuff and go, oh, that would be cool. Let me go ahead and see if I can find those. Because if I can get them, I'm going to go ahead and get them now so I'll be ready. So I'll be ready. For what? I don't know. But I'm going to be ready for it. So yeah, we don't need to talk about it, but we can because this is a um we don't seed shame over here. This is a seed shame free zone over here. Just saying. I just received some white velvet okra seeds today. See, it's not just us, GT. It's not just me and you. It's not just me and you. It is, yeah. So definitely we're not gonna shame nobody. Oh, I need to plant these too. I forgot I had these. My neighbor gave me these seeds. I showed y'all last week, I think. I need to plant a few of those. Yeah, it's a safe space. We don't shame over here. Ain't no shame in our game over here. It's a safe space. But yeah, my neighbor gave me these. These are pink eye purple hull seeds, but they're called Top Pick. And I wanted to see how they're different than the other ones that I got growing out there. The other ones are just out there. I didn't plant them. I didn't plant them this year. I planted them 2 years ago, and they keep popping up every year. So yeah. So if you plant cowpeas, you'll have food for life because they keep coming back. So, anyways, I think what time is it? Um um y'all know it's June. Yeah, it's June. I don't know when, how. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. It's June. That's what I'm trying to say. Time just be marching on. And life is going on. And I've got things to do. And I'm beginning to get a little bit overwhelmed. Do y'all get anxiety? I have anxiety. Diagnosed. Yeah, for real. So if this is a trigger for y'all, I'm telling you that I'm gonna talk a little bit about it, but not much, not going into a whole bunch of detail or anything like that. But just to say that I do have anxiety, and I get anxiety when when I have lots of stuff scheduled, and it's my it starts my brain starts going, and I can't slow it down, and so right now I'm thinking about what I have coming up in the next few months. I have a lot of um what do you call them? Commitments. Those that's what you call them in the next few months. Um do y'all oh yeah, that's right, breathe. Thank you, Nightbot, because that's the answer. For me, the answer is just stop and breathe for a minute and get yourself together. I was on the phone with my son, and Next thing I knew it, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get off the phone with you and I'm going to breathe a little bit and I'm going to get myself um, together because I don't like the way I'm feeling right now. I love you. Because that's what I have to do. I simply just have to um, get myself together. But yeah, there's some things. I've got some things coming up here in the next few months, and it's like, oh, am I ready for this? Am I ready for that? What do I have to do to get ready for that? What do I have to do? Do I need to get this done? Do I need to get this done? And I took a few days, and I took few days and relaxed, and I enjoyed that feeling. And so, yeah. Anyways, so anyways, um, a friend of mine was talking. I'm going to share some stuff with you guys today. I don't know what. Anyways, I have more than 5 projects started. So yes, I have anxiety. Yes. Um, a friend of mine, I was in this women's circle group, and what is that? Maybe it's this. See, this is what it is. This is why I don't like to even start a candle. I'm smelling the candle, and I'm thinking, what is that I'm smelling? So I'm gonna have to blow it out here in a little bit. What is that I'm smelling? It's like, did I spill something? But anyways, um, is in a circle group, and one of the things that she talks about is your inner expert. Have y'all ever heard the term your inner expert? Whatever it is that you are anxious about, whatever it is you have anxiety about, whatever it is you are stressed about, you have a inner expert in that area, in that subject area. And um and so in order to it's kind of a weird kind of thing, but in order to cope with the anxiety, to deal with the anxiety and to make sure that you get the things done, you ask your inner expert, well, what would you do? It's like having a mentor for everything, go to. It's like, oh, I'm going through some stuff right now. Let me call my granny and ask her about that, because you could call your granny and ask her about anything. It's like, well, instead of doing that, ask your inner expert. And it's like, you know what? Let me just take a deep breath. And I'm going to see, what would my expert who is really good at planning things out and taking care of the details, what would she do? And it's funny because as weird as it sounds, it really helps to say, well, what would she do? What would they do? And the funny part about that technique is it's not the first time I've heard of it. It's called there is something else that it's called. Um, but I don't know what the real name of it is. But a friend of mine who's a doctor, a psychologist, um, who treated patients, was talking about one of her um, not talking about one of her patients, but talking about an example. Like one of my patients said, blah 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 blah, blah. If I was normal and not whatever the diagnosis was, and she didn't even say what the diagnosis is. But if I was normal and not da 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 da, then I would do this. And she was like, "Well, why don't you just ask yourself, what would you do if you were normal, and do that thing instead of the other thing that you want to do?" And it was, I mean, this was easily 25 years ago when she said that to me. But it is like that really makes sense if you can ask yourself, what would my inner expert do, and come up with a plan, then you obviously know how to deal with it. And you can do that thing instead of, sitting in the anxiety. It's like, how would my inner expert deal with this anxiety? Well, first thing she would do is get out a piece of paper and write down all the things that need to get done, and figure out how long it takes to do each of them so that you could set up a timeline to getting things done, and you could have a checklist to check things off as you got them done. then I have no reason to be anxious about it when I see that I have enough time to get everything done. If I don't have enough time, my inner expert would delegate it, hire it out, find somebody else who could do it, or eliminate something off the list. That's how I would deal with this situation. Then I wouldn't be anxious about it. See what you see what I'm saying? Anyways, I don't know. What do y'all think about that? I just yeah. But that's what I have to do with myself sometimes because like I said, I've got a lot of stuff coming up and it's like, ooh, I've got at least one, two, three, four, maybe five trips before the end of the year. And anytime I have to leave the house that causes me a little bit of anxiety. And having five, yeah, that's a lot. um, Trips, and that's in addition to all of the other things that are going on. So yeah, that part. I'm not saying it's easy to do, but I'm saying that it's a strategy. It's a strategy, and so I ask myself, what would my inner expert do? And it's like, oh, okay, let me get my book. Let me write this down. I'm gonna have to write this down. So yeah. Um, and it seems like it always is the things for me always seem to pile up during the busiest part of growing season. Like I don't like to go out of town when it's hot summertime and I need to be watering every day. You know? It's like I don't want to leave my garden. I love my garden. I love my plants. I don't want to leave them and have them get overheated and dried out and wither and suffer in this heat and this the eighth level of I'm sorry of Hades where we live. You know what I'm saying? I don't. Oh yeah, I'm in zone 8, right? Yeah, and so it's like, why did I schedule stuff for this time of year? Because this is the time of the year to do it. But yeah, that kind of thing. So yeah, and I need to plan a trip. I want to plan a trip to a vacation for next year, and I need to start thinking about where we're gonna go, how long we're gonna stay, who all's gonna go, um, the whole nine. Does everybody have their paperwork done so they can go? Are we going out of the country? Are we gonna be in country? What you know? But yeah, I want to plan a trip for next year, 2026. I don't know where, someplace nice, someplace we can all enjoy. So. But yeah, I need to start writing those things down. Yeah, 2026 family trip. And you got to get those things nailed down too early. Um, I'm pretty good about putting stuff on a calendar year and a half out and committing to it. But not everybody is good with that. You know, that's a question I should ask you guys. Do you make long-term plans and stick with them? Like, do you make plans? Like, for example, my cruise is coming up in August. We basically locked this in 2 years ago. Um, do you make plans 2 years out, a year out? Do you stick with them? Generally, once I put something on my calendar, that date's blocked out for me. And so my family knows if you want me to participate in something, lock it in with me early. Because if you do a lot of changing things up and um, changing dates on things or uh, um, making modifications or something, I am probably not gonna participate. I don't have a great memory, so I usually forget. Now I use my calendar religiously, GT Junior religiously. Before phones, I had like a daytimer planner. If it was in my daytimer, it was set in stone. But now I use my phone, and when I block it out on my phone, um, if you call me right now and say, what are you doing next first weekend in April, 2026? I'm like, I'm probably going to the Soil Family Expo because I have it on my calendar. You know. So I already put it on my calendar. I didn't go this year. I'm probably gonna go next year. You know, um, and that's just the way I am. I have things planned out. I'm trying to think what is the one thing that I have planned out next year, the furthest thing out. I don't see anything December. Really? I did not know that. I do have something. Oh, I have a doctor's appointment in May. I think that's the furthest thing, the last thing that I have. May, June. Yeah, I do have one. I have a doctor's appointment in May. So I have things planned for May of next year. Um, hmm. Whew, February is busy. I was just sitting there looking. It's like February is busy already. So yeah, and that's the thing. Like I said, there's some things I want to do. My wife keeps my calendar on point. I used to forget to pay bills and everything. Yeah, no, everything on mine is on calendar. So, um, um, I don't forget. Sometimes I choose not to do things, but it's not because I forgot, because it's not on the calendar, because it's on the calendar for real. Um, But I do like to plan things out, to at least have a general. I'm not really big on setting things in stone. Like I was like Soul Family Expo. I plan to go to it next April. I may change my mind if I'm not feeling well. Things happen. But um, knowing that I'm planning for that, if somebody comes up and says, "Oh, do you want to do this in April?" I'll probably go no. Or do you want to do something in March? I'll probably go, well, the 1st of March, I might be available. Oh, you know what? I already have something planned for March of next year. So no. If someone calls and asks me if I want to do something in March of next year, the answer is gonna be no. Um, and this happened to me this year too. Something came up in August, and it's the day before I'm supposed to leave for my cruise. I was so hurt when I saw the date on it because it's something I really would like to do, but I can't go. It's like, oh, could you do it? If they did it the weekend before, a week earlier, I would be able to go. And it just got planned. And it's like last minute things are just tough for me because um I've had this trip planned. I've had this trip planned for a minute and I'm not happy with that. So, yeah. It is what it is. Um Yes, and I am disappointed that I'm not going to be able to do it. And I was trying to figure out if I could do it. I'm like, could I manage a 6 hour, say, if I left the day before, take the 6 hour trip, go to that event, turn back around 6 hours, come home, drive 3 hours to Atlanta, get on a plane. Ugh, that's like almost 18 hours on the road in 3 days. And then to hop on a plane at that point, it's like, oh my word. Yeah. It is what it is though. I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it. It's like, um, so yeah. Mm. All right now. That's the last one for today. Y'all, I spent a couple days with Lydia. I had such a good time. She's the best. Best yet, Journey. She's the best. Um, I had so much fun. There might be a video. I didn't do it because I don't do videos when I'm out and about doing stuff. That's the last thing I think about is recording. I don't know what's wrong. I keep telling y'all I am not a content creator. I I just um I just pretend to be one on occasion. Because I was like, why didn't I take a video? I didn't take a single video while I was there. But I went um to spend some time with her, and it was so good. I'm so glad. The people that we meet, that I've met, some of the people that I've met through YouTube and in the garden community have been the absolute best, and um, it's just amazing to me. I don't know. I don't know. It's just amazing to me. So, but I had um, a really good time. I had a relaxing time. I had a good time, and yeah, it was all good. I don't see the moon. Okay, I might might overlook it, but anyways, yeah, um, yeah. So yeah, I got to schedule another visit um to see her because yeah, I might do that. Maybe I'll see her in July. see, then that will be 6 trips between now and the end of the year. I don't know if I'll do that or not. Because that's what I did last year. Last year I had like four trips in 4 months. No, 4 trips in 3 months. And I was just completely exhausted after that. And I was like, I can't do that again. And so this year I said, well, I'm not gonna do that again. I'm not doing that. And so I've been saying no this year. Been saying no. People's like, well, you want to do this? I've been like, no. You want to do this? I'm like, no. Been saying no because I was so tired last year and just had too much. Just did too much last year. But now I'm like thinking, well, maybe I could do just one more, maybe just one more. But I got to figure that out. So I was going to ask you guys. Back at the beginning of the year, we had talked about some plans for the year, how we were going to do some things that we wanted to get done during this year, during 2025. And um, so I would like to ask, um, have you guys done a checkup? Have you looked back at it, read what those were, and did any kind of status update on where you were with your plans and getting things done? I don't know where mine are. I do know where they are. That's not true. They're just not right here next to me. I haven't looked in on mine lately, but I'm going to because this is June, so I'm gonna go in and look at what I had planned to do and see if there's anything that I can check off my list. I know that there are a few things that I can check off my list because my garden is, excuse me, was is one of those things, and my garden is doing really well. Um, I do have a couple of crochet projects that I need to finish up, um, and a few crochet projects I want to start on. But yeah, I'm gonna go back and look at those and reevaluate, see if there's things I'm still wanted to do or not. I know there's some things that have dropped off the list, and other things have been replaced on the list because some things popped up that I didn't know about, didn't know that were going to be happening, and I had some opportunities. There's this class I've been meaning to take. I had been thinking about taking for a while, and it came back around, and the timing was good for me, and so I decided I would do that. It's like a 120-day commitment. I think the class is like a 120-day commitment. So what's 120 days? 60, 90, 120, 3 months? It may be 4 months. It's either 3 or 4 month commitment. But anyways, the opportunity came up for that, and so because I've decided to do that, then some other things got bumped back and pushed around because of that. But I'm excited for that. And one of my words, I think my word for this year was flow. Um, um, Maybe flexibility or flow, something like that. I think I picked a word for the year, and I can honestly say that I feel like that's kind of the direction that things are going for me. That I've been kind of going with the flow. I'm not basically I've been I've been able to, I can't speak in sentences. I can't speak in complete sentences. I don't The words don't flow out of my mouth the way that they should. But anyways, um um m- that's kind of the way my life is going this year. I think I've been pretty much relaxing into the flow of it, and that was the goal for me. And so, like I said, I'm going to go back and look at my notes that I took earlier in the year and see what I wrote down as far as my plans and my goals and the steps to doing that, and look at what I wrote down as my obstacles to meeting those goals and how I've been working around those obstacles or through those, and then um, formulate, a path forward to, make sure I'm still on the path to accomplishing the things that I want to get accomplished for the year. And so I ask y'all, to look back at your notes, what you wrote down or what you said about what you wanted to get accomplished this year, and ask yourself, where are you? Are you getting those things done? Have you gotten off track? Has other things taken precedence since then? Have Has other opportunities come up for you where you've had to move off of the path that you were on to, or to deviate from the path that you were on because an opportunity, like I said, the opportunity for that class came up for me, and I'm really happy with that opportunity. Um, and it's kind of sparked, some other things have sparked for me. So, I've got some other things. I'm jotting things down for what do we want to do next? What do you want to do next? What are your plans for what you're going to do next? Um, and I'm asking myself the question, is this something I really want to do? Or, or is it something that sounds good, but in reality, it sounds better than is it? Does it sound better than the reality of it? That kind of thing. So I don't know. But anyways, I was just wondering, if anybody has, reevaluated, look back, adjusted your plans, accomplished your goals. How many of you have accomplished the things that you want to accomplish? I know my garden is definitely one of the things that I wanted to accomplish. Having more fruit, trees. I'm excited about the fruit in the garden this year. My blackberries, I bought two blackberries. I ended up with four. So excited for that. Um, that they actually produced. Two of them actually produced this year. That was great. I bought how many? Five new blueberries this year. And they're producing. I'm really stoked with that. My apple tree has got apples on it. So yeah. Um, I plan to have the coop done this month, and have the garage free of dust. You've made really good progress on that coop, DT Junior. Especially, I mean, it takes a lot. I know maybe it's just me and my perspective, but I feel like it takes a lot when you're working full time. You have kids that you are, raising and spending quality time with. You have, a relationship that you are engaged in, and spending quality time as a family, and to have these major projects, and it sometimes we make plans to do things, um, and our timing is the time that we'd like to get it accomplished in versus the time that it actually takes, may not be very congruent. But the fact that you committed to it and kept putting in the time day in and day out, yeah, uh-huh. um, definitely. And you got a goal in mind too. It's like you want your garage dust free. You got plans for what you're gonna do in that garage, that space, what you're gonna do in that space. Um, yeah, definitely. You've made lots of progress on that. So pat yourself on the back if you haven't already. Give yourself kudos to that. And, look at what's left. What's left, what all do you have to do to get that finished? And it's not finished. That's the other thing too. People, sometimes people forget when you live in a place, you live on a property, you live in a house, you live in a place. It's never finished. It's as finished as it can be at any given time, but there's always maintenance that needs to be done. There's always repairs that need to be done. There's always something that needs to be done. So you're never really finished. And I didn't understand that when I was a kid. My mom used to say things that your dad is never going to finish this house, and I was like, I would hear that and I would think, what do you mean? It's never going to finish the house. But the fact is, there's always something that needs to be done. And I don't know that she was saying it in that way, um, in that way. But that's now that I own a house. Oh, goodness gracious! I've got I've got spots on the wall where I have patched, put patches, but I haven't painted. It was like, or there was, kids, kids. So hole in the wall, or um, Sharpie drawings on the wall. So I've got places where I've done kilts on the wall to cover the Sharpie, but I haven't put the paint on the wall to cover the kilts. Yeah, that kind of thing. There's always stuff to be done. It's like this, yeah, the house was finished when we moved in it, and now we live here. And so there's always something else to do. I was sitting here looking right there going, there's a spider web. I mean, it's a spider web. Go get the broom or the mop and get it down, but still, there's always something. Since I've invested, um, so I have a heavy load, but I want my future to be more free. Exactly. I haven't invested the time into YouTube side, but with time, that too shall be an accomplishment. Yeah. The Alaska state bird is full swing. I need to get torches again to repel these mosquitoes. I have one of those. What is that thing called? Thermocells. I have a thermocell, and last year I bought refills for it. So when this mosquito season came out and the last rain, hey Dreeny, how you doing this evening? Uh-huh. It's good to see you. We have mosquitoes for real. And then I've got standing water out there because um I wasn't here the last time it rained, so I didn't get to tip all the water, excess water out. So I know there's mosquitoes out there. But I use that thermocell. I will turn that thermocell on and sit it out there and give it a few minutes before I go out there, and it does a really good job of keeping the mosquitoes off of me and away from me because I know if I don't have that thing on, I'm gonna get 5 bites. Every time I step foot outside, I'm gonna get 5 bites. When I have that thermocell on, I might not get any, but it's not gonna be five. So yeah, I do use that. Um, get the torches again for the mosquitoes. Yeah, mosquitoes are crazy. They are absolutely crazy. And I gotta go. I gotta spray my peach tree one more time. Um, so hopefully I'll get some peaches. Um, the bugs won't get all my peaches. I've got my, I don't know, did I show you? I don't know if I showed you in the video or not. I got the bags and I covered a couple of limbs on my tree um, so that the squirrels don't eat them all. But I still need to spray them so that the bugs don't get them either. But I covered those trees. I covered my apple tree because I want apples because I think I got maybe a dozen plums. The squirrels got most of the plums. So my plum tree was absolutely loaded. Hundreds of plums on that tree, and I hardly got any. The squirrels tore them up, and I'm not happy about that. And so I covered up my apple tree. Hey, Bone Tire. And I covered up a couple of the limbs on my peach tree, and I covered up my blueberries because the birds were eating up my blueberries. Now, so yeah, I'm definitely pleased with those covers. I might get some more because yeah, I could cover up some more things. I haven't really had that much. I love plums. I do love plums, and I wasn't ready. I just wasn't ready for the plums. I got to do a little bit more research into those trees too, and figure out when and how much to fertilize them. And I need to prune them because they're too big. My peach tree is outrageously big. Plum tree is pretty big too, but I need to prune them back just so that I can reach them because I don't mind having the trees that big and having them produce as much fruit as they produce because that means that there's enough for the critters and enough for me. But what I do mind is not getting any. Having a tree that big with that many plums on it and only getting a few, oh, that just tore me up. And they were good too. They were good. And then I have, three more, four more plum trees out there next year. So yeah, I gotta be ready. Next year comes around, I'm definitely gonna be ready um, for them. So yeah, this candle smells pretty good. It's not bad. It's a gardenia basil, soy based scented candle. I think I got it from Aldi. So it's a cheap candle. If it's yeah, it's nothing expensive. Um, it doesn't really smell like gardenia though. Y'all know how gardenias smell. I have two gardenia trees out there, and I really want to. I might try to take some cuttings off of the gardenia and move. I'm gonna move them to the back over by the fence. I like them close to the house, but yeah, I think I'm gonna move them because I think that space that they're in could be better spent growing food. So that part, I'd rather grow food there than to grow flowers there. But I want to grow the flowers too. And I love gardenias. I think they're beautiful. And I had gardenias when I was growing. I probably told you guys this before, but when I was growing up, there were two gardenia trees that were outside of our house, right by my bedroom window. And so this time of year, you could open the window at night, and the whole house would smell so good from those gardenias. They were just wonderful. Um, and they also were one of my favorites. One of my, I think my grandmother's favorites. I'm just saying that they are. I might just be making this story up for sure, but I believe my dad planted a gardenia um, on my grandma's at my grandma's grave. I believe. I could be lying. The more and more I think about it, I think that's what it was, but I'm not sure. I'm not for sure. Oh man, I hate that you lost your plums. I know. I know. The squirrels, oh my goodness. Y'all have seen the trees. The squirrels walk around the fence, jump into the cypress from the fence, climb down the limb to the cypress, jump over to the plums, and then they head upside down in the plum tree, up and down that tree, tearing up the plums, and then they jump from the plum tree to the peach tree. And then if you see them, they'll have one in their mouth and they run back. And every now and then they'll get scared and they'll stop. And you'll see this peach, green peach or plum hanging out of their mouth. And then they'll drop it and then they'll run. And you'll see them with the little bites, 2 or 3 bites out of it. It's like, it was green. Why are you picking them green? They're not even ripe yet. They picking them green and running across the fence. You see them running across the fence with a green piece of fruit hanging out of their mouth, and then they get scared and they drop it. And so I have these pieces of fruit all over my yard with 2, 3 squirrel bites taken out of them. It's like, it's crazy, 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 crazy. But yeah, that's another thing I need to do is I need to get out there and get the fruit that's dropped off the tree. I like to keep those picked up for. I don't like them to sit up under the tree because sometimes they can get bugs and things in them, and they'll like be a breeding ground. So I'll pick those up and I'll usually put them in a. Sometimes I'll put them in a bucket and cover them in water and let them. Um, I can't think of the word. Decompose, whatever they do in water, do that, and then use the water to water with, or sometimes I'll just trash them. Um, but I don't want them to grow bugs that can feed on the tree or the fruit on the tree. So I try to keep them picked up. So I got to do that tomorrow. I haven't done that in a few days. Got to do that tomorrow. Get all those spent ones out there. Yeah, that part. I think sometimes I'll put them in compost. It just depends. If I cover them with water and let them sit in the water for a few days, then I can put them in the compost. But I don't like to put stuff in compost that has a potential to have breed bugs that can attack my plant. So it's kind of iffy on that. If it has bugs in it or it has disease on it, then it doesn't go in the compost. It goes in the trash. If there are no bugs on it, or if I have done, or if I've treated it for the bugs, then I can put it in the compost at that point. So yeah. But generally, if you put it in a bucket, cover it water, and put a lid on it, those bugs are going to be dead. And whatever it breaks down, it's like a compost tea. Yeah, when it breaks down, so you can use that to feed other stuff. Um, and I do that all the time. I've usually got a bucket or two going with that in there. Small buckets. I don't do big ones because that stuff can get that this liquid stench. It can get really foul smelling. So I don't do too much of that. But small buckets, yeah. But yeah, I need to figure out about the proper fertilizing of these fruit trees because some of my fruit trees have been in the ground upwards of 5 years, and I haven't really done a lot of fertilizing. So I need to figure out, what kind of fertilizer I need to use and how to do it. I remember somebody fed their trees. I don't remember who it was. They fed their cheese a whole chicken. They like went to the grocery store and bought them chickens, and then dug the hole at the root of it and buried it. I was like, you just fed your cheese. It's like you just fed your trees chicken. And I was like, uh-huh. But yeah, I gotta learn how to, do that. Because I just don't know much about that. I need to learn how to take care of these trees so that I can get some fruits off of them. And especially that pear tree. That pear tree might end up on the burn pile if it doesn't produce something here. Because it's been out there. I think the pear tree and the fig tree are the same age. And it's like, dude, you've been out here way too long to not be giving me any food. So I'll figure it out though. I will definitely figure it out. Yeah. So what you been up to, Bone Tired? What you working on, Drini? You still in here? I haven't been doing much crocheting lately. It's too hot. I do not like to crochet in hot weather. Uh, Especially big projects. I don't mind a little project, a little amigurumi or something like that, but a big project where you have, the item in your on your lap or whatever, it's too hot for that. It's way too hot for that. So, haven't been doing much. But I do have a couple big projects that I need to go ahead and finish up. I need to get my craft room organized. Now is the time to do it while I'm not really working on anything. But I do have a couple, like I said, I do have a couple craft projects that I need to get done. Not crochet projects, but crafting projects. You still making earrings, Trini? I've got some, I want to make some little bags, some crochet bags. Um, just some little ones, some little, like bags for water bottles and for, cell phones and for um, like a small bag for like a journal or a notebook, a journal, something like that. Just a little bag that you can put it in, and you have a drawstring or a crossbody strap or something like that. Because I like to carry like a sketchbook or something like that, just a small book. I want to make some bags for those kinds of things because those are kinds of things that I like to carry with me all the time, but I don't always have. I can't always carry it in my hand, but if I had a handle, I could throw it on my shoulder or something like that. Or I could, if I had a bag that I could hook it to my backpack, the outside, I can throw it in the backpack, but something I could put easily accessible. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I don't want to take the whole backpack. I just want to take a sketchbook. Okay, so if I had a little bag that I could put it in, so that's what I'm trying to do. I want to make some bags. Um, and I've got some cotton yarn that I can make some of them out of. I don't mind working with cotton yarn in the summertime, but I cannot stand working with acrylic during the summertime. So there's that. Ooh, excuse me, y'all. I'm gonna have to get something to drink. That's interesting. That is interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get something to drink because it is. Mhm. Let's see. Trying to think of what else I wanted to talk about. Does anybody else have the green stalks? So I got two green stalks this year. And one of them, well, both of them are mostly planted. One of them is fully planted. Every pocket in it is planted. And the other one is probably 80% planted. And I'm kind of liking it. I need to, I'm not sure if how much I'm liking it, but I'm kind of liking it. And they did have another sale. They had a Mother's Day sale. I think they have a Father's Day sale. They also had a flash sale going on. I don't know if they still have the flash sale going on. It may be gone off by now. But you guys, if you are interested in those, wait for the sales because the sales are pretty good. Um, and oh, the lilac and the cherry blossom colors. Today, oh no, they're gone. They're gone. But yeah, wait for the sales because they have pretty good sales. This year they also had the three tiers. I haven't seen the three-tier ones before, but they had the three-tier ones and you could get, the regular ones are five, 6 or 7 tiers, but they had the three-tier ones this year. I thought that's nice. Um, and I think the price for the three-tier on sale was like maybe 79, 69 or 79. I can't remember exactly. But anyways, my point is they do have decent sales um during the year. Um and it's for me it was worth it to wait till they were on sale to buy them cuz the 5 tier planter is regularly like 150, 149. The 7 tier is regularly 169. And when they go on sale, they're closer the the 5 tier is closer to 100. Um and then so anyway, my whole point in talking to you guys about them is that wait for them to go on sale. um wow. Yeah. Um, at least, I mean, not really. If you want to pay full price, uh-huh. No green stock yet. Yeah. Hey, Darthex, how are you? My mom is short, so she'd like the three-tier one. I'm short, and the 5 tier one is yeah. I can't see into the top of it. When it's the stack, the 5 tier, the 7 tier, yeah, it's yeah, definitely can't see the top. But the 5 tier, I can't see into the top. And then sometimes I put things like I'll put little containers that I'm starting stuff. I'll just let them sit up there in the top. I can't see those things. So yeah, that too. Then the 3 tier, it's so funny. I looked at the 3 tier when they were on sale. I was like, I should get a 3 tier one because that's nice. And the other thing is, if you have a 5 tier, you can use just 3 tiers of it if you wanted to. Um, Or if whatever, you could use whatever. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying. But yeah, I kind of like it. Um, the reason I like it is because of the amount of they're sturdy. One, they're sturdy. Once they're filled with soil and you have them stacked, they're not going anywhere. The wind's not going to blow them over there. I mean, unless you have a really super high wind that's blowing down trees. But just the regular winds are not going to blow them anywhere. They're not going anywhere. They're sturdy. I like that. They have they're deep, so they're like 10 inches deep, and so they're deep, and so you can plant things that are have a good long root in them. Um, yeah. And then for your space, you literally, and probably about, I don't know, maybe 16 by 16 square. I don't know, maybe 12 by 12 square. I don't know. But in that amount of space, you can grow what you would grow in a bed. Because think about it, each level has 6 pockets that are 10-inch deep. And then if you have 5 tiers of that, that's 5 times 6. So that's 30 pockets worth of growing. So that's, if each pocket only had one plant in it, that's 30 plants that you can grow in basically a 12 by 12 space. And I like the idea. I do like the idea of growing vertically. Um, because you can get more, like if you only have a patio or something like that, you can grow a whole lot of food in a little space. And that's what I wanted this year. I was going to do another bed. I said I'm going to do another bed. I'm going to do a bed, yeah, 16 by 6 feet, 16. That's what I was thinking, 16 by 16, because it does grow, they do grow outside of that. So yeah. But as far as, yeah, exactly. I think that's what they recommend, 16 by 6 foot concrete block for a base. Exactly. But that's the reason I like them, is because basically if I had made another bed, a 8 by 4, 8 foot long by 4 foot wide bed, I wouldn't be able to grow any more plants than I'm growing in that green stalk. Now, I could have made a bed for a whole lot less money, because I could have made a bed for nothing, because I have all of the materials to make the bed. And I have the ground space for the bed. But yeah, I'm kind of happy with that. And then I really like it for growing the herbs, because I don't want, the herbs I don't want to put in, I don't want to have them in ground. I do want them in containers. So most of the herbs that I want to grow them in containers, because I want to contain them. I don't want them. Some of the herbs are very invasive or very aggressive or very, what is the word for it? I don't know. Anyways, yeah. I thought of turning my 7 tier into 2, 3 tiers. Yeah, you can buy individual pieces, and like if you just wanted to buy that top piece to the top piece where you pour the water in, if you just wanted to buy an extra one to put on top, you could buy that. Um, and I thought about it too. I thought about, oh, maybe I should do just a couple of tiers, even if I'm not turning one into, even if I'm not going to use all of the layers. Maybe I'll just use 3 layers this year, and then I'll use 2 more. Add 2 more to it next year or whatever. And I thought about doing that too. So, one of mine, my husband poured me a concrete pad, um, on in my yard. Um, and so one of mine is on that concrete pad, and the other one is on my patio. I already had it's on my patio, and so that's the space. Yeah, I understand what you said. Yeah, I understand what you said. But yeah, you can buy the individual pieces, and they do, when they sometimes they'll have a site wide sale, and then sometimes they'll just have a pop up sale. And the pop up sale may just be certain components of it that's on sale. I looked at the site just a little bit ago. I didn't see anything on sale right now. But there are other vendors that sell green stock. I think MI Gardner sells green stock, but there are a couple of other vendors who sell them, and they have sales from periodically. They have sales as well. So I would say, and I'm not saying just, I'm not saying don't, y'all. I'm not telling you how to spend your money. I look for the sale price because I am a frugal person and I'm not going to spend more on something than I have to. But I'm also the person who, if I want something, I'm going to get it. No matter what it costs, if I want it, I will work for it to get the money to get it. There's that. So I'm not trying to tell y'all how to spend your money. I'm just saying if you are like the green stocks, they do have sales periodically. The Mother's Day sale is their big one, but they do have them other times of the year. And in fact, I didn't even buy mine during that Mother's Day sale. I bought mine a little bit earlier than that because I wanted it before. I wanted it before Mother's Day. I wanted it earlier than that, but they were having a sale at the time. It wasn't as big as the Mother's Day sale, but they still were having a sale at the time. And then when the Mother's Day sale came around, guess what? I bought another one. Another one or two. I don't even remember how many I bought the second time. It's because it's still in the box. It's like, oh, that's for next year. So yeah. It's kind of crazy. I know. I kind of yeah, but yeah, I'm like I said, I like it. I So far I like it. I think I'm going to like it a lot, but time will tell. But I'm excited for what I've got growing in there. I am definitely excited, and I've got some of everything growing in there. In fact, I probably have things ready to harvest in my green stock, and y'all saw me when I put the soil in the last one, in the video where I put the soil in it. Father's Day is coming up. Maybe I think they do have I think they do have a Father's Day sale. But yeah, Father's Day is coming up. Yeah, Father's Day is coming up. I don't know what I'm gonna get my husband for Father's Day this year. Maybe I'll call his children and tell them to get their dad something. Get your daddy something for Get your daddy something for Father's Day. Hey, Scott, how are you? Thanks for coming in. I'm just sitting up here rambling, just sitting up here chatting away about everything and nothing. Um, about everything and nothing. They said we were supposed to be able to see Northern Lights. Look, I don't even know if that was true. My son sent me a message that said we were supposed to be able to see Northern Lights last night. Or was it last night? It was last night. But I ain't see nothing because I didn't go outside. So I don't know if it was true or not. I picked some strawberries for my green stock today. Okay, cool. That's something I'm thinking about doing, moving my strawberries over to the green stock. Thinking about doing that because my strawberries are doing nothing. I mean, I have strawberries that made it, which is kind of cool because usually I kill them. And they made it. I didn't kill them, and or unalive them. I guess that's the word. Or they didn't exit, and they bloom, and they get strawberries on them. And generally, something eats the strawberries that's not me. So I thought, well, maybe I'll move them over to the green stock, and maybe I'll get some of them. Waiting for the cruise. Yeah, I am waiting for the cruise. I need to get in touch with our guy to make sure get all the information about our flights, um, and just to make sure I'm all set for the cruise. I think I am all set for the cruise, but I need to at least get in touch bases with them and make sure I'm all set for the cruise. Um, but yeah, um, excited for the cruise. completely excited for the cruise. I also have to figure out. Yeah, I got a question for you, Scott. Um, on the back end of the trip, was there a place? Did you have a hotel for the back end? Because we're staying a day. We're staying one day after, one night. So we I think we cruise in on Sunday. We're not flying out until Monday. So I was wondering if you had a hotel for the back end, because when I went to book my room at the hotel, um, and I tried to book um, a room for the back end, they didn't have any rooms available. So yeah, that part. The flights come out in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Okay. It's no worries if you don't, because I I found a spot. I think I found a hotel. Um, I didn't book it yet for the for the back end, but I found one where I can book it. So it's not that big of a deal. We're trying to figure that part out. Flights come out in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, yeah. You're gonna be staying someplace near the airport. Okay. We looked at that. I think we were gonna go ahead and stay. Well, it depends on what time our flights go out, and I have to go back and look at it. It depends on what time our flights are leaving, um, whether we stay, um, depending on where we stay. But I think I looked at a couple of places out near the airport as well. Um, it's easier to put a cover over the green stalk and water. My strawberries in normal containers bake in this heat. Yeah, that part. Um, I lost I had strawberries and then they died. And I don't remember. I think it was in the heat. I think they just got they I failed to water them, and they were in the heat and they just didn't make it. I might the I have them in a little raised bed. Actually, I have them in grow bags in a raised bed, and so off the ground. And so I may move that bed to morning sun only, um, because it's getting ready to get really hot now. And I can cover them. That's the other thing too. I can cover them. I need some covers. I need to get some more covers. I have some covers, but I need to get some more covers, because I can cover those strawberries. Actually, I have something that I can cover those with already, but I need to get some more covers for some other things. But yeah, I just don't do well with strawberries. I've pretty much given up on strawberries. I really seriously thought, like, you know what? Let me just take these strawberries and and put them in the ground and let them do what they do. Just find a spot for them. Put them over there, let them have their little patch, and call it a day. Let them do what they do. Cause yeah, we You fired your last guy? Okay, I don't know who is I don't even know who our people are, Scott. Okay. So Jane is the person who's doing it now? Okay. Then I need to get in touch with Jane. The last guy I tried to get in touch with, and literally I called the guy and he couldn't hear me, or I couldn't hear him, or something. There was problems with the connection. There was nothing wrong with my phone, but he seemed to have a problem talking to me. And I tried to call him at several different numbers, and we couldn't get a good connection. And so I never did get to talk to him. So all right. So Jane is our new person. I'll check out the stuff within the next day or two to see what's what. Um, no worries. It'll work out. It will work out. I hope. Um, Yeah, it would be easier to put a cover over the green stalk. I've got a cover that will fit my green stalk. Um, and it's also easy to move. I mean, well, one of my green stalks has um, the the base with wheels on it, so that one is easy to move. That's what I need to do is when they go on sale, when they have a good sales, I need to get another base um, to make them easier to move. Because that's the nice thing about the green stalks too is like you can move the whole thing. Uh, David Corey with crop. Hey David, how are you? It's good to see you, David. What's up? What's up? What's up? I was talking mad junk about you this weekend because I was hanging out with Lydia, and I was just telling her all kinds of crazy stuff about you. I was like, yeah, that David Corey. You doing well? Good. That David Corey, yeah, him. He be growing stuff all the time. What did I do to you? You was trying to hug me virtually. And I don't be hugging people like that virtually. Not actually, just virtually. And you kept looking at my feet. That's the other thing too. I had to start wearing shoes in all my videos because you was looking at my feet. And I was like, why is David looking at my feet? Yep. So now I can't go outside barefoot. I can't wear my sandals outside. I have to wear totally closed shoes whenever I'm working outside. It just makes my life difficult because of you, David. All because of you. Y'all, this candle's driving me crazy. I'm getting ready to blow it out. Yeah. I don't usually blow out candles. I usually have a wick thing to put candles out, but because I don't like the smoke. Let me put this in there. Let me push that down. Oh no, it's out. If you push the wick down into the wax, the candle goes out and it doesn't smoke. And I have a wick. I don't know what it's called. It's a candle snuffer wick thing so that you can just do it. But I don't have it over here. It's over there with the other candles. So, but that's how I usually put my candles out because I don't like for them to smoke. I don't like to do that. How was y'all's weekend? You and Lydia B. Me and Lydia B had a great weekend. I love spending time with Lydia. We had a wonderful time. We did hood rat stuff with our friend. We had a really good time. It was fun. And I didn't want to come home, but I had to. So there's that. So now I'm making plans for another weekend or week or whatever kind of time we have. Uh-huh. Yes, she is a beautiful spirit. Yeah, I love Lydia. Y'all know I do. So it is what it is. That's my girl. 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 Hey, Jamie, how are you? Hope you're having a good evening. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Uh-oh. How was your Monday? How's your week? How's your June starting off? I'm mad about it. I'm not really mad about it, but I feel like I'm a little bit mad about it. June has always been a weird month in my life. June has been a weird month for us because um, it seemed like there was someone in my family would always pass away in June on my dad's side of the family. And so when June would roll around, it was like You're just waiting for the phone call. It was like, ugh, it's June. Who's it going to be this year? And so it's just weird for a long time. It was like year after year after year. It was somebody every June. Um, but on the other side of it, June is always a cool month for us because um, on the same side, on the same token, um, school would get out in June. Yay. We would take a family vacation. As soon as school got out, we took a family vacation. And we'd pack up the car and we would hit the road. And I'm talking about, this is 60s. This is during the late 60s and early 70s. We'd pack up the car and we would hit the road. And we would go and visit family. And we would go to Virginia Beach, to Richmond, to Norfolk, to Landover, Maryland, to Baltimore, um, to Philly. We'd go to New Jersey, DC. We would go to New York, Long Island, and then we would come home. And so either we would hit all of those places, either going or coming. Um, and so we always had this family trip, and it was always the best. And then we had lots of family who lived in North Carolina, and so we would go to Greenville, Windsor, Williamston, um, Raleigh, Durham, Apex, Morrisville. Um, we hit all of these places, Rocky Mount. We hit all of these places during June. We would visit everybody. And it was so funny because it was not just my mom, my dad's side of the family, it was both sides of the family. Wherever they lived, we went during our family vacations. We had so much fun. And this is so funny because it wasn't until I was an adult that I realized the significance of how we traveled as a family, um, where we went, how we went, da da da, the whole nine. I didn't realize none of that stuff when I got older. I was like, well, why do we always, when we travel, we always stay with family. We never stayed in hotels. We never ate out. We always packed up. My mom always cooked food, packed food. We carried food in the car. We never ate out. We stopped for gas, and we stopped at Howard Johnson's. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Anybody live back in those times and know where we stopped? Howard Johnson's had hand dipped ice cream. And the funny thing is, my dad loved ice cream. My dad ate ice cream every day. We would look for those, the blue roof. It's like the Red Roof Inn, but it wasn't the Red Roof Inn, it was the Blue Roof Inn of the Howard Johnsons. And we would look for those on the highway. We would see one. We would get so excited because there's one. We're going to stop. We're going to get some ice cream. We're going to stop. We're going to get some ice cream. That's the only thing we would eat was ice cream from Howard Johnson's. And it was like, I don't even think the kids went in. I think dad went in and maybe mom went in and maybe not. I don't think the kids got to go in or nothing. We would get an ice cream cone. And yeah, it's weird. But it was like, this is the 60s, y'all. This is the 60s. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it right there. But that was June. That was June. And I look forward to it. And it's so funny. Every time, usually the day of the trip, I will get hurt. I would fall off my bicycle. I would trip and fall and step on a nail. I would I would come in with a scrape, a scratch, a bleeding somewhere the day we were supposed to leave. And it was funny because we drove a lot of time we drove um at night. My dad would drive at night, so we would do what you have your regular day, and then we would get on the road like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And the reason I figured this out as an adult, the reason he did that is because the kids would be asleep. He could get in the car and we could drive, and the kids would be sleeping. He didn't have to listen to no noise. It wasn't no I gotta go to the bathroom. It was none of that. The kids were asleep, and he could drive and he could put the miles on, and we could generally get from our house to the first family member's house with us sleeping. So it made for it interesting to enough to me. It made for me used to being a night traveler because I'm a night owl and I don't sleep at night. And so I would be up with dad and everybody else in the car would be asleep. And I say everybody else in the car, I meant everybody else in the car because sometimes it was seven of us in the car, mom, dad, and five kids. Um, until the oldest ones left. And then it was, just me, mom, and dad. But yeah, that part. And it's so funny. I just remember packing, um, mom packing up the car and then going to lay down. Um, and then her waking me up and was like, okay, we're leaving. And it might be 11 o'clock at night sometimes. It may be 12 o'clock at night sometimes. I'm like, why are we driving at night? We always drove at night. This was the 60s and 70s, y'all. I don't know. This is just, isn't that bizarre? It's bizarre. Anyways, this the things that you remember, but I didn't know people didn't travel like that. When I was a kid, it was normal for us. We did it, like I said, we did a family vacation and it was not a family vacation. It was a family trip because we went to see family. Um, Going to see the cousins, going to see all the cousins, the aunts and uncles. Um, I thought everybody did it because my family did. Um, After we got back home, actually, sometimes we didn't get back home. A lot of times I would make the trip out, but I didn't make the trip back. Mama would just leave me somewhere with somebody with the cousin. I maybe left with a cousin for a couple of weeks, and then a couple of weeks later, one of them would come. They would come down south to visit because grandma lived down south, and the aunts, the grandma's um, sisters, all of her sisters lived. Um, they all lived in North Carolina. And so some of the people that we were visiting, invariably, they were going to be coming home. Well, I'm coming down next week. I'm coming down. And it's like, well, can I stay? And they were like, yeah, you can stay. And so I would stay for that week or two. And then when they came home, they would bring me back home. So it was kind of cool. Um, but yeah, and I just thought everybody did that. I thought all families traveled like that. I thought, that's what you did in the summer. You get out of school and you go and visit family and you go here and here and here. It's like, yeah, I've been to here. I've been to North Carolina and South Carolina and Virginia and Georgia and Delaware and Pennsylvania and New Jersey and New York, all the places that I have been, DC. I've been to all of these places and I thought everybody did. And then when I got older, and it's like, most people don't go no more than 50 miles from their home. And I was like, what? That can't be true. Surely everybody goes and visits. People have family. You don't go visit your family? Yeah, that part. But my parents were my mom was one of 12 and my dad was one of 11. So they had, big families and they were spread out all over and all of that. I think my family travel a lot bit at night in Canada or just stay with family. I have family all over Canada. Yeah. Yeah, we stayed with family. I don't remember the first time I stayed in a hotel. I don't remember. Um, because we just didn't stay in hotels. It was not something that we did. My dad was one of 10 kids. Yeah. And a lot of our family, migrated to the north. And so we had several family members in different parts of New York, in Brooklyn and Queens, on Staten Island, on Long Island, different parts. And then some people in Jersey too. So I remember the tunnels. I used to love going through the tunnels. The Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel. I love that tunnel. And then the tunnels in New York, I forget what they're called, what they're called, but I love the tunnels. I love the tunnels. That was me. I love to travel. My dad had a CB radio in the car, and so he was on the radio, and I love that because it was like the people, they recognized him. I guess some of them maybe did recognize him, but it was like he was talking to his friends on the radio, so that was kind of cool. Um, and it was funny because now I tell my kids about stuff like this, and they're like, "But how did you know where to go? You didn't have GPS. How'd you know where to go?" It's like we had maps, and we had landmarks. We really traveled a lot by landmarks because I remember going to visit one of my uncles, and my dad made a wrong turn, and I was like, "You don't turn here," and he was like, "What?" And I was like, "No, you don't turn here. You have to go down a little bit further, and then you turn." And he made the wrong turn, and he ended up turning around, going back, and I was like, "This is where you turn." And he did not know that I knew how to get to my uncle's house, but I did. I knew the landmarks. But we had maps, and we did map studies in the car, and all kinds of stuff. And we, followed all of that. Yeah, played all the car games in the car. But yeah, but that was June. Um, that was June. Um, I don't. I'm trying to think. I don't. Typically, me and my husband take a trip in June, almost every year to visit kids. But yeah, companies promoting tourism gave away free maps. Every state still gives away a free roadmap for the state. Still, if you want a roadmap for the state, stop at the Welcome Center, and they're gonna have maps. At least the ones around here. Now I don't know out west. I don't know, but because we didn't go, we didn't have much family out west. Almost all of our family was on the East Coast. Um, Although we did go to Texas when I want to say I was 10 or 11. We went to Texas. That was the first time I crossed the Mississippi River. That was interesting. I'm trying to say, did we drive straight through? I don't think we stayed in a hotel. I think we drove straight through. It was a long drive. It was a long drive from eastern North Carolina to central Texas. Oh my goodness, that was a long, long drive, and I'm telling you, when we got in Texas, it's so funny. You get to Texas and you think you were there. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. You still got that same amount of driving left to do. I'm trying to think. We might have stayed in a hotel. I think we might have stayed one night in a hotel in Texas. That might have been my first hotel stay. I can't remember for sure because, like I said, I was 10 or 11 years old. Um, I just remember it was a long, long, long drive. And that once we got in Texas, ooh, excuse me, the first thing that I noticed was it was dry. Um, if you grew up in on the East Coast, people talk about the East Coast. They talk about the wall of green because I mean, it doesn't matter what time of year, whether it's the winter or whether it's the summer, and pine country is green year round. And, in the wintertime, the oaks lose the hardwoods will lose their leaves. And so they, look a little bit, brown or gray or whatever. But in the summertime, it's just green. Everything is green. Everything is green. And I remember getting in Texas and I'm like, where are the trees? And you would see like a live oak tree way off in the distance. Um, and you might see an oil well way off in the distance. But there was like no pine trees along the road or whatever. There was like no crops. And like in North Carolina, there's either trees or crops. I mean, it's, corn or soybean or tobacco, or there's trees or crops. It's green. It's almost always green. Unless it was cotton season, then there was cotton and it was white. But in Texas, it was brown. The grass was brown. The landscape was brown. And then there might be a tree way over yonder. And it was just road and sky and road and sky. And it was like, oh my goodness. And it was just, I don't know, it was almost scary to me. It was so stark and different. It's like I remember to go, he said, the furthest south I've been in the US is the city of Seattle. It's like 2 hours drive from Vancouver. Oh, okay. That's not south. I'm going to be in Seattle. I'm going to be in Seattle in August. I remember going to Seattle as a kid and going up into the Space Needle. Really? Cool. Cool. And it's so funny too. I remember going to, I was little. I remember going to Virginia Beach, and Virginia Beach had a wooden roller coaster. Now, y'all, I'm just telling you, y'all got to be of a certain age to understand what the significance of wooden roller coasters versus the new metal roller coasters. But they had a wooden roller coaster in Virginia Beach, and I remember going there to see one of my great aunts who lived there, and I was little. I was too little. I wasn't tall enough, old enough, big enough to be able to go to the amusement park where the wooden roller coaster was. But my brothers and sisters were all old enough. I think I must have been 6. I must have been 6. I think I was in first grade. Because our field trip, when I was in school, we had field trips. And our field trip for that grade was a trip to a train yard, and we got to ride on a train. But I didn't get to go because this was during school. I don't remember why we went during school year, but it was during school year, and I didn't get to go on the trip because we had this family trip that we were taking. And so my dad drove behind the activity bus so I could go with my class, and I was allowed to go to the train place, get on the train with my class, and then I had to get off the train and get in the car and leave with them. They got to ride the train. I didn't get to ride the train. But he went with that. We went that way. He took that route so that I would get to go at least that far with my classmates. And then we went to Virginia Beach. And my brothers and sisters got to ride on the wooden roller coaster, but I didn't get to. That was one trip that I remember. And I think when I was 5, oh, I gotta look it up and see. I think when I was 5, I don't know. Let me look something up. Oh, no, I wasn't 5. No. Mm-mm. I think I was just a year old when they went to the World's Fair, so I have no recall of that at all. The World's Fair was in New York, I think, in 1964. So I think I was just a year old, a little over a year old, and they went to the World's Fair. And I was like, how wrong is that? That they would go to the World's Fair and I wouldn't get to go. It's like there's a wooden roller coaster in Vancouver. It's expensive to maintain. Yeah, those things. There's very few of them left in the world. But there was one, and like I said, there was one at Virginia Beach. And you know what? I could be remembering that wrong too. So, anyways, but I remember that roller coaster. And my brothers and sisters, my brothers and sisters are 9 and 10 years older than me, and so they were gonna get to go to that one for sure. I was 6 years old, and so that made them 16, 15, and 16 years old. So they were definitely big enough to go on the roller coaster, and I was not big enough to go. But they're fun to ride because they're they anyways, whatever. Um, but yeah, I was very upset that I didn't get to go on the roller coaster. So it was significant to me. Yes, it was significant to me. But yeah, that's interesting. Do you guys remember times from your early childhood? Do you have memories of that? Um, Stuff like that. I remember that was just significant to me just because there was the whole class trip. And the real funny thing about it, my brothers and sisters don't remember it. I have a brother who lives in Atlanta now, and I was like, "Do you remember the time we went um, to Virginia Beach and you guys got to go on the roller coaster?" And he's like, "What?" I'm like, "The wooden roller coaster." He's like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "You don't remember? It was significant. I didn't get to go. You guys got to go." I don't think my sister next to me got to go either because I think she was scared. But the three oldest ones got to go. So, but yeah, do y'all have memories like that? And do all of you guys um what was I going to ask? I was like, do you have memories like that from your childhood? And do your siblings, do they remember? If you have siblings, do they remember the way that you remember it or whatever? Because like I said, I have to admit, my brother has some he was in a really bad accident, and so he had a head injury. So that may have affected some of his long term memories, but I don't know. I just never to do risky stuff. I wasn't scared, just wasn't interested. Yeah. I didn't see that as being risky. Risky. It's funny. As at my age, I didn't see it as being risky. I just thought it would be fun. You know, and the funny thing is, I'm not big on rides. I've gone to a lot of amusement parks over the years, and I'm not really big on rides. I'll do the rides, but they're just not my thing. I'm not big on rides. Like I remember going to Six Flags over Georgia, and my cousin wanted to do this roller coaster, and I'm not even sure what the name of it is, but he wanted to do it, and he was kind of young, and he wanted to do this roller coaster, and I said, "Okay, I'll ride with you," and he was like, "But I'm scared." I was like, "It'll be all right." I said, "I'll tell you what's happening." And so the whole ride, I was like, "Oh, we're going up, slow, 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 slow. Okay, we're almost to the top, almost to the top. It's gonna be a big drop. It's gonna be a big drop. Woo!" And he was like, he had a good time, but he was just a little kid, and for me, it was like the whole anticipation stuff and everything. It just doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me. But um, it was kind of cool. Cool. I'm just not. I enjoyed hanging out with friends and family more so than the rides themselves. And so it was like if we were all going on a ride, I'd go on a ride. If we weren't, yeah. Now there's a couple of them that I will never forget. My niece got off of this one ride and she couldn't stop screaming. She was like, I'm like, we're off the ride. We're walking away. She's still, I'm like, are you serious? You're still screaming. We're walking on solid ground and you are still screaming. Yeah. So, and it was one of those, I forget what it's called. It's like free fall or the drop or something. It's the one that you just go straight up and then you go poof and drop. That one was something, but she couldn't catch her breath. She just couldn't stop screaming. I was like, wow. I relate to trees. I'm surrounded by giant trees, and seeing no trees will be like visiting Mars. Yeah, that part. Yeah, the first time I went to California, um, where did we go? Redding? I think it was Redding is where we landed. It was like it's so brown. But I had never been any place that was that dry. I mean, Texas was the closest, yeah. But yeah, the Wild Miles. I will never ride that drop thing. No, 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 no. Yeah, I won't do it again. Because you know what I was doing at the top? When you get up to the top, I was counting 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4. Because I was like counting off the seconds. As long as I know when it's going to happen, I'm okay. But when the not knowing when it's going to happen, and I'm like, I think I have 7 seconds until this thing. And literally, it was whatever the count they told me it was literally I was standing in the line counting as other people were going, counting it. So I made sure I knew exactly how long we had to wait before the drop happened. And so that helped. I mean, for me, just knowing that it was this many seconds and then it's going to drop helped, which is kind of crazy. But, anyways, yeah. My favorite coaster was, as a kid, was the Wild Mouse. I have no idea what that one is. And that's the other thing. I don't have any favorite rides. I like the swings. You know, the one that just goes around and you are, yeah. I like that one. That one was one of my fun ones the not the at the county fair or the state fair or the national fair is what they call them here, but it really is just a state fair. I like the swings. That was one of the ones I liked. Um, and I like the spinny ones too. You know what? I like the rides. They're just as long as I was with is I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of crazy. But that was something we used to do. And I had a cousin who lived in Atlanta when I was in my early 20s, early mid 20s. I was I lived in North Carolina, but I was just a couple hours away from Atlanta. I was in Western North Carolina, and we would go. I'd go down for the weekend, and we'd be sitting around on a Saturday or Sunday and go, "Let's go Six Flags." There was always a coupon for dollars off admission at Six Flags, and the admission you got all the rides. Once you got in, you know all the rides were included, and we would take 7 or 8 of us, hop in a couple of cars, go to Six Flags, and spend 2 or 3 hours. It was nothing to go to do that. Just go spend 2 or 3 hours. That was just a fun thing to do because it was right there. It was very accessible. It was economical to do. It didn't cost an arm and a leg. Like I've never been to like Disney or anything like that. It just costs so much to go, and it's like, what are you gonna do when you get there? R- get on rides and eat food. You know, it's like, what are you gonna do? It has a Wikipedia page. Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. I like the Apple, and the Gravitron. It has a Wikipedia page and a huge following. Not much people traveling to ride wooden coasters. Not as much as people traveling. Yeah, there used to be a big following on wooden coasters because there were so few left around. It was like there's only so many left, and so there was a big following, and there were people who were purists who were, oh yeah, I don't like modern coasters. I like wooden coasters, that kind of thing. But yeah, the Graviton, is that the one that spins and then the floor drops out from under you? There's one of those at what is it called? The place in Huntsville, the Space Museum. Is it a Space Museum? I don't know what it is. I think it's a Space Museum. I forgot what it's even called. Law, y'all, please. Anyway, that one. Yeah, there's one of those there. They have a couple of rides there. um, too. They have like the space shuttle one where you're in and you feel like you're in a space shuttle, that kind of thing. Oh yeah, the ship, the pirate ship, the Viking ships. Yeah, I like those too. So yeah, but yeah, we did King's Dominion, Carowinds, and Six Flags Over Georgia were the three big amusement parks. And well, there's one at Williamsburg, but I never went to that one. Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. I've never been to that one. We always were gonna go and never did go. But King's Dominion, Carowinds in Charlotte, and then Six Flags Over Georgia were the three big amusement parks that we went to. Yeah, the Tilt-A-Whirl, yeah, that one too. Yeah, uh, that's pretty funny. The best part to me about the actually it's not the best part, but one of the things I like about like the state fair, we would always go to the state fair when I was in school in Raleigh. Actually, we went to the state fair when I lived at home too. That was one of the trips that we would do. It's like, let's go to the state fair. I always liked the agriculture exhibits because I'm a geek girl, and so but I like the agriculture exhibit, so I was always went to check out everything in ag, and then I liked um fair food. Fair food. That's what you go for. Fair food. Funnel cakes and candy apples and cotton candy and the Philly cheesesteaks or Polish sausage or all the fair food. All of the fair food. I might be boring, but I love to travel and ride steam engine trains. Okay. I'm trying to think if I've ever ridden a steam engine train, not that I know of. Um, that's one thing I wanted to do. I wanted to go to Canada and ride a high speed train. I don't know what it's called. I don't know anything about it, but that might be something we could do next year. Take the boys and do that. That would be fun. That would be fun. Yeah. Um, I liked the big row seats that go and the giant sky arc and stays up and let you see the entire fairgrounds. I'm trying to think which one you're talking about. I've never done any of the ones where your body is hanging, where you're kind of hanging from above. I've never done any of those rides. Those are kind of newer rides for me. All the rides I've ever done were sitting rides where you had the bar over you. Um, so yeah, I haven't done any. Some of the newer, more modern rides. I have never done anything like that. Um, I was trying to think too about oh, the state fair. One when I was in college, um the forestry department, I was in forestry school. The forestry department had a wildfire simulation program that was on display at the state fair, and people could it was a game, it was a video game, and people could come and do the simulation, and you could you had so much money and you had resources, and so you could bring in firefighter crews, you could bring in engines, you could bring in planes, you could bring in ships, helicopters, the whole nine. You could bring in all of this stuff to fight the fire, to you know and you could make decisions about where to put your resources, how to spend money on your resources, and everything. I wrote the code. um, well, I didn't actually write the code. I translated the code for that program. Um, the original code was written in one programming language, and it needed to be translated into another programming language because of the system that they were using it on. And so my job was to troubleshoot the code and to rewrite it into the second language um, for that. And so yeah, That was fun writing it. And what's really fun is that it had little one of the guys who wrote the code put in little messages um in it, and I broke it. I broke it because the message that popped up said consult a priest. And that was basically when all hope was gone. You have run out of money, you have run out of resources, you killed all your people. I mean, unalived all your crews, all your people, all the lead was burned up. It's like consult a priest was the message that popped up. And when it came up and I called the professor, because it was one of my jobs, it was one of my work study jobs was to redo that code on that. And so I called him and it's like, um, where did this come from? I couldn't find it. I couldn't find where he put the message in the code, and it just drove me crazy. It was like, where? And I finally was like, you have to show me where this is. And he had it buried so deep in there. It was so weird. No, that's the thing, Darth X. I'm not a coder. That was back when I was in college, and I was and I did what I was told to do. Isn't that funny? Um, that was my job. I was hired to do a job. I got paid to do the job, and it was to play this game and rewrite the code from one language to another. Um, and 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 make sure that it would run because it needed to run for the state fair. um, but yeah, I rode a steam train from to Duluth, like 300 miles each way. It was cool. Okay. Was it going super fast? It says, no, it's slow. It's a relaxing ride. That would be fun too. I'm trying to think, what trains have I ridden? I've never ridden, I mean, take that back. I've not ridden, I've never ridden a passenger train in the United States. Have I? I've ridden the subway in New York and in DC, but I haven't ridden like Amtrak or anything like that. Um, Day trip, got 2 meals. Okay. Now I have ridden trains in Europe. I would be scared if it went super fast. I want to try a high speed. I just do, because I do. But that's just something I want to do. It's just on my list of things to do. But yeah. I'm trying to think. When the kids were little, we took them to see Thomas the Tank Engine, Thomas the Train. That was fun. It's just right up the road here. It's just about an hour and a half from here. And that was fun. That was really fun. Um, they had a lot of little things for kids to do there, and actually, it was a rail yard, and so they had a lot of historic trains and engines and stuff that you could get on them and walk on them and see them, but they didn't move. But the Thomas actually did move. You could ride. They would go down the track for about a mile and a half, and then it would come back up. And so we did the ride on the Thomas the Train. My kids loved it. They loved climbing all over those engines that they had out there. All of the cars. They had lots of them, um, historic cars from times gone by, and they really enjoyed that. But anyways, I want to drive to Fairbanks this summer. I haven't driven lots of miles since I drove with my wife from Georgia to South or North Carolina a few years back. Okay. Fairbanks. I think I have a cousin who lives in Fairbanks. I think. I need to call my brother and ask him if, if he still lives there. But I think I do have a cousin who lives in Fairbanks. He was military. He eventually retired military, but he stayed up there. He was stationed up there last, and he stayed. He enjoyed it. So I was like, ooh, ooh, ah. But yeah, there is that. I don't mind drives. Like I said, I drove. It's super cold in Fairbanks. Really, I I don't mind driving. I drove back from South Carolina last night. Um, I prefer to drive at night. I don't drive at night because it's not because of stops. Because I have to stop, and stopping is not safe. Not as safe as night. It may be just as safe. I don't know. I just feel like it's not as safe at night to stop. But I prefer to drive at night. It's like um, it's just so much less traffic. That part. I used to like driving, but don't anymore. If I had my choice, I would teleport. If I had my choice, I would just teleport rather than to drive. It's it's okay. I don't mind being in the car on the road by myself in the quiet, in the dark, in the day. Doesn't matter day or night. Don't mind the drive at all. It's dealing with crazies on the road. Like 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 yesterday, I was on the road. There was a truck on one side of me, and then this other truck decided to pass me. Why would he get past me? He comes over in my lane. There's a big truck on the other lane. There's no place for me to go. So the only thing I could either do was either go faster or go slower. So I just slowed down so that he was gone. But he was in my lane. It's like, really? You and then once he got past me, there's three lanes, right? He's straddling this lane, then he's straddling this lane, then he's straddling this lane. I'm like, just pick one. Pick one. You can have the whole thing. We don't care. But pick one. What's up with that? I I didn't like driving until I got a cool SUV. Puddle jumper cars, meh. Yeah. Now I don't mind riding. My husband drives a Cadillac, and that car is a smooth ride. It's a smooth drive. I don't mind driving it either. I rarely drive his car, but it drives nice. It's a nice traveling car. So when we get ready to hit the road here in a couple of weeks, um, it's gonna be a cool ride. But we got to go through Atlanta, and them people in Atlanta don't know how to drive. They think they I don't know. And there's gonna be somebody in a Dodge Challenger, Charger, one of the whatever, whichever one it is. There's gonna be somebody in a Dodge that's gonna be doing this because that's what they do. It's always somebody in a Dodge who's doing that. But there were so many people on the road who were riding, driving too close, driving too fast, whipping in and out of traffic, changing, doing lots of lane changes without really, I don't know what they were doing. I don't know. And it's like those when the traffic is like that, I just get off the road. I'm like, yeah, why don't I just go? There's a mall. Let me go walk in the mall. And I don't even like walking in malls. Sometimes I'll just go and sit. It's like, you know what? I got books on my phone. I'm going to just sit down and read for a while. I put a timer on my phone for like 30 minutes or something. I'll sit down and read. When the timer goes off, I'll get back on the road. So all them people are wherever they are. Motorcycle drivers are daredevils. Sometimes they are. And I have seen people on motorcycles driving between cars, like cars are stuck in the lane, and instead of driving like they are a vehicle, they drive like they are not, and they'll go between cars and they get too close and do crazy stuff. I've seen some of that happen, but not all of them are daredevils because I might be married to a motorcycle driver who was a very safe driver. But anyways, and there may be a motorcycle club person in the bushes here. I'm not sure if she's still here or not. But anyways, sometimes they are daredevils, but sometimes they're not. But look, I'm telling you, I watch out for them because they're, for one, they're hard to see, and then for two, sometimes they don't drive like they're hard to see, and it's like, oof, yeah, that part. But yeah, what's a lane? I'm just pick one. I mean, you can take your half out of take just any, yeah. But you know what? That's okay. If you want to take all three of them, that's fine. I'll pull over, um, pull off the highway, go on up there and park in that parking lot, and I'll let you have the whole road to yourself for the next 30 minutes. Or 15 minutes or whatever. Like I said, I'll pull over to put a timer on it, read, do something different, go into a store, do whatever. I think the first time I did that with my son, he was like, "What are we doing?" But we were in Atlanta and it was like 5:30, 6 o'clock on a work day, and there was snow on the ground. And I was like, "Yeah, let's stop and get something to eat." And so we stopped and we ate something. So that was 30, 45 minutes. And he was like, "That was good. Why did you stop to get something to eat, Mom?" And I was like, "Oh, nothing." I was like, "Oh, let me go check this store out." And so there was this little discount store. I'd never seen it before. We went to this discount store and we walked around the store. You know, I got a shopping cart. And he's like, "Are you looking for anything?" "No, just looking." Do. We just messing around. My son was like, "I don't know what's going on." Finally, he found some things that he wanted. I found some things that I wanted. We bought some things at the discount store and got back to the car, put him in the car and everything. And it's like, "All right, let's go." And he's like, "Tell me about that." I said, "Once we get out of Atlanta, I'll tell you what that was about." But literally, it was like 5:30, 6 o'clock. And after we had a meal and messed around in the store, it was like 7 o'clock. And we got on the highway and the traffic was moving. And I told him, when you're in rush hour traffic in Atlanta, it's stop and go traffic. And it may take you twice as long to go, 5 miles, whatever. And I said, it doesn't make any sense for me to sit in traffic and burn up my gas, um, when I could just park my car and go and relax and chill for a little while. And then these people are going to be at home and there's going to be less traffic on the road. And so that's what I did. That's what I'll do. And when I worked in Atlanta, it was the same thing. When I worked in Atlanta, during the day, I went to work. I didn't go to work until 8:30, and I would work until 6 or 7 because um, it was just easier to go to work between 8:30 and 9 o'clock and stay until the traffic died down. But on Fridays when I was going home, I got off of work at 2 o'clock. I would go in at 5:30 or 6 in the morning and get off at 2 o'clock, and then I'll get on the road and I'd be out of town before the traffic got started. I just did not drive in rush hour traffic. It made more sense for me to come to work after the rush hour was over and to leave work after rush hour was over. And same thing except for Fridays, to leave before rush hour. If I didn't get out of there by 2:30, 3 o'clock on a Friday, I just would stay. I'd usually just go ahead and stay and go leave the next day or wait and leave that night because it was just too much. It's just too much. And I don't want to sit on the highway. I just don't want to sit on the highway in traffic. So, but that's just how I cope. That's how I manage to cope with those kinds of things, with the traffic and everything. Now, I mean, everybody, different people have different coping skills, and some people it doesn't bother. Some people are fine with it. Um, but I just don't like being in the whole energy of the rush hour is not good for me. But anyways, Darthek says I'm just joking around. No, I can see that you're joking around, but I mean, yeah, I can accept that you're just joking around, but it is a fact Some motorcycle drivers are daredevils, and I know some of them. Yeah, I know absolutely know some of them. I've got this one guy that I work with. Whoo! If I see him on the road on his bike, it's a miracle that I can see him and recognize him because he goes that fast. Um, it's like you don't see him. It's like you hear him. You hear him buzz past you. He's yeah, and he's not one of the ones that's riding one of those cruising bikes. He's got one of those crotch rockets, and he's leaned over, and it's all you see is that. Yeah. And it's funny because I've been on the highway here in town, and like going to work, and he's going to work in the morning, and I drive, and I was like, yep, that's him. And I get to work, and he'll be at work. He'll have gotten his outer gear. He's all that, and he's all settled in, and I'm just pulling in the parking lot. And later he goes, yeah, I passed you this morning. I said, I seen you. I seen you. But yeah. Um, but yeah, it's some of them. It is definitely some of them. And I won't tell you what my friend, I should tell you. I have a friend who's a doctor, who's a kidney doctor. Actually, she's a kidney transplant specialist. She likes motorcycle riders. Her husband is one, but she calls him an organ donor. That's what she calls him, her husband. Yep, she gets a lot of kidneys from them. Don't say you heard it here. Don't say you heard it here. I didn't say you didn't hear it from me. Oh, you didn't hear it from me. Y'all, I'm gonna have to get up out of here because I'm getting tired and getting loopy and saying crazy stuff. So, um, thanks for being here. I appreciate you being here. Thanks for participating. If you are what? What did you just say? What? If you are in the bushes, thanks. If you are in the replay crew, thanks. I GT Junior. Um, give me another number. Give me another number. I was in the hospital after I was stabbed with a motorcycle. God, near lost a leg after I was stabbed with a cycle. Okay, Mike, I'm not following what that means, but okay. Yeah. GT Junior, give me another number. 26 is too many. 24? Oh, gosh. I tell you what, I'll give you 10 minutes. This is a 10-minute warning, guys. Okay. And as I was saying, thank you for the replay crew because the replay crew is legit. I really appreciate it. And yes, that part. I was in for stabbing. Oh, yeah. All right, that part. Yeah. I am glad you are still with the guy in my room was there because he lost his leg on a motorcycle. Yeah. Yeah. I just was watching a TikTok where the woman lost her husband and her son the same day motorcycle accident. It was a car pulled in front of the two of them were riding together and a car pulled in front of them suddenly. Her husband tried to pull in front of his son to protect him, but it didn't. She lost both of them the same day. Um, but yeah, and it is what it is. I picked up a watermelon. I picked up watermelon starts today. Ooh, watermelon. Ooh. I love watermelon. Mm. I picked up a good number of starts today. Look at you. That's what I need to do. I need to go up to the big box store and see what kind of starts they have and see if there's anything that I want to pick up that I don't have. Because that's what I should do. Is I should go and get I should go get a good sized tomato, a couple of good sized tomatoes. Yeah, they were going to take my arm, but the surgeon who reattached his leg fixed my arm. Wow, my starts didn't do too well indoors. Oh, okay. I want to get some cabbage. I for some reason I can't grow cabbage but well from seed. I can't even hardly grow cabbage well from starts, but definitely can't grow them well from seed. So I want to go get some cabbage and put out there. But I want to wait. Actually, I want to wait until a little bit later. But I don't know. Yeah, it's amazing how much luck we actually get, Mike. I think people totally discount luck, but sometimes life is it really is just luck. It's just pure luck, and I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for it for you and for me too. Um, but yeah, but you can, and that's the other thing. You can't count on luck. You can't count on it, but you can definitely be grateful for it. I got the old books out of my tote from outside so I can do hydroponics. And oh, okay, GT. Yeah, I've got some totes that I could probably do hydroponic. I got so many totes. It's ridiculous. I can't not buy them. What is it with that? When I go to a store, it doesn't. It's when I go to a store and I see something that will be really good in the garden. Like the other day, Lydia and I walked into a Dollar Tree and they had this container. It's a ice container. It was one where you put ice in it to put drinks in it, and it had the handles on the side, and it was this nice shape. And I was like, "Oh, that's a nice shape." And Lydia was like, "Yeah, yeah, you can use that in the garden." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not buying it." But it just took me. It took me. I had to talk myself down from it. I walked in, I saw it. I was like, "Oh, they don't have these at my dollar store. Da, 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 da. If they don't have these at my dollar store, that's a nice shape." Blah blah blah. And that's how I am. And so I'm sitting here, I'm looking over that way because I have two containers, three, four. Actually, there's four containers over there. But I'm looking over there, and they're all of them that I'm looking at, the four that I'm looking at right now, are containers that I picked up in the store that I did not go to buy. I happened to be in the store, and I was like, oh, that's good. I can use that in the garden. And I pick it up. It says I have been reading 10 minutes a day this month. I have to teach my son to read. I have to be an example. Oh, okay. That's a good thing. I remember I came in one day and my husband was sitting on the couch and my two boys were sitting on the couch and they all had books open. I was like, let me get the camera. I was taking pictures of it because it was so cute. I was so proud of all of them. Whether for I got starts today too. Look at y'all getting starts. I need to go and look and see what's out there because I there's some things I want to grow that I have not gotten good seeds. You know what I want? Poblano pepper. For some reason, I can't get my poblano to germinate. Weather for Anchorage conditions are mostly cloudy with a temperature of 52 degrees. 52. Hmm. Chilly. The wind is blowing from the south at 11 miles per hour. 11 miles per hour. That's y'all got a good little wind going. And the current humidity is 56%. Okay. A dry 52. That's not bad. That's not bad. Dirty Little Secrets. Do I know what that is? I used to read a lot as a kid. Me as a kid, you can get books for free at the library. Exactly. I had library cards in the town I lived in, the county seat, the town I lived in, and the county library of the next county over when I was a kid. And they had books by mail that you could get. They had a list. You could order the books that you wanted. They would send them to you in the mail, and it came with a envelope that you could reseal them. It came with the label. You put the label back on it, and it went sent back. It was from the county seat, the big library at the county seat. And so you could get books by mail from the library. It was several, 25, 30 miles away, but you could get, and they would just send them to you. They would send them to you. Yeah. And I had a rotation going all the time. My goal was to read every book in the library. I don't know what about me as a kid, but my goal was like to read every book in the library. And when I went to high school, my goal was to read every book in the library. I had a study hall where I worked in the library, and I started at A. I started just reading the books, all the books, every book. Some of them were horrible, but I was like, I'm gonna read all these books. Okay, I didn't read them all, but I made a good dent in reading a lot of books. If I found authors that I really liked, then I would read, those. Some of them I find one and just I was like, I don't like that one. But I made a start. I made an effort. I was gonna read all the books to the library. Um and I do. I read a lot of books. Y'all know I love to read. I read a lot of books. I read several hundred books a year. Easily. Um The only problem that I have with reading a lot of books now is I don't go to the library a lot, and books are expensive, and so I don't like to buy a lot of books. But yeah, and my little library here, I've read quite a few of the books that they have in there, and I don't care what kind of books they are. Even if they're kids' books, I'll read those too. I don't have a problem with that. Speaking of which, I just thought about that. I was excuse me. I was thinking about a book, looking up some books. Sometimes a topic. I'll think of a topic, or something to come up, and I'll go, I've never thought about that. But anyways, I heard the title of a book, and I'm trying to think of what the name of it was, and I thought, I should look that up. And get that book and read it, because I just do. I enjoy reading so much. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna probably pick up a few books here. I'm trying to figure out how much of my budget do I want to spend on books ever so often, every month or whatever. How much money am I willing to invest in books? But it just depends. Most of the time when I buy books, I buy nonfiction books. And so I'll buy books on particular topics that I'm interested in that are nonfiction. Fiction books I either get free, whatever is free, available free on Amazon, or whatever I can get from the library. I'll do for fiction. I usually don't spend a lot of money on fiction. But on nonfiction books, like fermenting and canning and gardening and herbs and um, herbalism, those kinds of things. Yeah, I'll invest in hardcover books. I will buy digital on occasion, but I prefer to have a hard nonfiction books, reference books. I prefer them to be hard books. Now, don't get me wrong, because I will read digital books too. Um, but yeah, that part. But yeah, I do love to read, and I pretty much read almost every day. Although I don't think I read yesterday or today. And so my little reading app is gonna say, you missed today. Let me see what it says. See what it says. Uh-huh. I've read 30 weeks in a row, but I didn't read yesterday or day before yesterday. My reading insights. Did I do? Oh, I read every single day in the month of May. I missed one day in April. Every day in March. Oh, I missed quite a few days in February. I missed about a week in February and about a week in January. but May every day. Yep, every day in May. Um, but I didn't read the last 2 days. So yeah, but 30 weeks in a row. So yeah, that's it. And that's just for the stuff that's um digital. Um, it doesn't count all of the any physical books that I read, and I read physical books as well. So yeah. Oh, what's that? And that's the other thing too. I am I like I love trashy books. My little dirty secret. I love trashy novels. I really do. Now, don't get me wrong. I will read anything. Um, I like paranormal books. I like um fantasy books. I like science fiction books. I will read romance books. I don't like happily ever after books, so real true romances, but like I like a mystery book that has an element of romance to it, or a science fiction book that has an element of romance to it. Um, that kind of thing. And trashy books. I like trashy books. Um, because I like books for entertainment purposes only. Um, Now, don't get me wrong, I do like to read stuff for education and awareness as well. So um, there's, like the Four Agreements or The Secret or, you know, whatever. I was still trying to think. Uh, I was just trying to look, it was like, what book do I have right here, right next to me? I have my Bible. Y'all can't even see it because it's. Let me see. Y'all can't see it because of yeah. There it is. There it is. There it is. It's. I think it says. Yeah, it's the Bible. So right handy. What do I have? I have a Bible, and then I have some planners, and then, I've got. What else do I have? Got a little herb book right there, and yeah, different things. Um, there's a book on, just a book on Ifa over there. I have, yeah, that is funny too. I was just thinking about that. I've got a book on Christianity. I've got the Bible. I've got the book. I've got the Quran. Um, I've got the Book of Mormon. I have a book on Ifa, and I've got a book on spirituality before religion. I have 5 different books on 5 different religions. Because I will read stuff. Like if I'm interested in something, and I'll go deep dive down that rabbit hole. Um, that's pretty funny. Oh yeah, I got the Egyptian Book of the Dead over here somewhere too, and the Mystical Kabbalah. That's a Jewish book somewhere too, and the history of the history of the Christian religion. That book is this big. It's huge. It's like thousands of pages in it, and it's, oh my gosh. You want to talk about Christianity, the history of Christianity? I'm not bashing no religion. I'm just telling you right now. But if you want to really want to read, it's like wars. I have a book called Spirituality Before Religion. Somewhere. It's in my room somewhere. It's a hard copy book. But you talk about wars, holy wars, and killing people. The Christians and the Muslims, they got it down to a science. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Hold on a second, GT. Y'all hold on a second. I'll be right back. Let me go see if I can put my hands on that book. Oh, I was just reading it the other day. But I don't know what I did with it. So I have a shelf over here, a bookshelf that has nothing but religious text on them, which is where I thought it was, but I don't see it right here. Yeah. Oh, what is that? Oh, I forgot I even had that book. Okay, GT, I got one more place to look. I thought it was right here, but it's not. Uh, I'll be right back, guys. Okay. All right. Oh, well, obviously, I'm not going to be able to put my hands on it, guys. But GT Junior, I will email you about it because I know I have it. I just had it the other day. I know you probably can't even hear what I'm saying. But anyways, I can't put my hands on it right now. So I will email you when I put my hands on it, and I can tell you who the author of it is if you want to look it up. That's not it. Where is it? Okay, all right, I give up. I don't want to give up because I feel like it's right here and I'm just overlooking it. But I give up. Is that it? No, that's not. That's Yoruba. Uh, uh. Oh, anyways, I'm sorry I can't find it right this minute. I have it. I just don't know where it is. It's probably in the bedroom somewhere because I was looking at it just the other day. But yeah, you found it on Amazon? Yeah, that's what it's called. Um, oh, looks like it might be available in a PDF form. Oh yeah, it's available. Um, on Amazon. I don't know why I ended up with that book. I don't know how I ended up with that book, but I do have it. Oh, maybe I have it as a Kindle book. I thought I had this as a hard copy. I don't know. I do not know. I almost sure I have it as a hard copy. I think I found it on Amazon. Okay. Good night, Darthex. It's good to see you. Thank you for being in here. But anyways, yeah, GC Junior, I read everything. I ain't gonna lie, I read everything. Um, and what is that book? I just had a book. Where is that book? What's this one called? This book right here. It's called Christianity, the First 3,000 Years. Look, you see how big this book is? This is so weird. It is so weird. It is crazy. Um, but the short story of this book is Christians fighting but Muslims all over the world. That's the short story. It's like, okay, in this century they won, 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 then they lost, they lost, and then they won. It's like, where are they gonna fight the holy wars next? I mean, seriously. Seriously, it's like, okay, y'all are really good at killing each other. I mean, offing each other, or whatever the word is. That But I don't even know how many pages is in here. 11. Okay, not counting the index. Okay, not counting the index and the references. Not counting the index and the references. It's over 1,100 pages. If you count the index and the references, it's over 1,200 pages. Yeah, in this book. But it talks about, yeah, it's crazy. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Congratulations. Very good. Very good for finishing your, what did you finish? Finishing bagging your seeds. Yay. That's great. Great, great, great. We got, yes, you got me to stay the whole 26 minutes. You won. Yes, yes. And 30 packs of Save Seeds label. Look at you. That is too funny. Y'all are so funny. I got 2 beds done tonight, 2 greenhouse covers moved. To we okay. Look at you. Now can I go? Can I get off of here now? Can I? Can I? Can I? But yeah, this is crazy. I can't believe I read this whole book. I I have to say this book was this one was it was a class I was doing, and one of the years of the class it was a 4 year. I think I told you guys about it. It's a 4 year course of study in um in in Christianity, and the third year is church history, and that was the textbook for the third year. So we had to read that book. It was 9 month over a 9 month period, but we had to read that book, and that's a lot of reading. That's a lot. I mean, 100 pages a month is what we had to read in that book. So it's doable. It's doable. Uh-huh. This energy drink smells like feet. That's like the LaCroix hibiscus. To me, it's like it smells like feet. It's like I I can drink it. I don't want to, but it's like I gotta drink it without breathing. Got my 2 bags of green onions cut to rego. Okay. Got the tops in the dehydrator with a few pieces of dandelion roots. Look at you. Dehydrating stuff. That's what I need to do. I've got some green onions I need to cut. I've got some green onions I need to transplant. So last year I dropped some seeds, some green onion seeds. My green onion went to seed. And so when the seeds came off, I had just cut the seed heads off and put them in a container to dry. And then they dried, and there was a bunch of these seeds. And so I just threw some in this container. And so I had this whole thing, like it's probably about 100 of them that are just teeny tiny. And I just grabbed 10 or 15 of them and put them in the ground in different places. And so I have them in many places, but I still have a bunch of them that are in that bunch that still need to be placed. And they're doing wonderful. I've got some in the green stalk. I've got like 4 or 5 things of the green stalk. I've got some in some containers over there. I've got some in the ground over there. And I've got some more I need to put out. Some I need to put some more onions out. So, but some of them are ready to cut, to harvest and dehydrate. Green onions when I sell for $2 a bag. I got a big old bag from Costco. I will do the 2-1 tomorrow. Yeah, and those mine came from the grocery store. They where I had just cut the bottoms off and stuck them in the ground, and they grew, and now they're huge. They get huge. They get huge. Instead of being like this size, they get this size, and some of them I've got maybe 4 or 5 that are big like that. But I'm cutting those down too. So in the next day or two, I'm going to be cutting those down to dehydrate those. I'm going to do that every year. Onions grow over winter for tops, but outside in spring. Yeah, yeah. So, but and I'm trying to grow more onions. So I keep starting more onions and transplanting them into different places. I don't know if transplanting onions is a good thing, but that seems to be how I grow them best. Anyways. But anyways, y'all, it's after 2. So I am really gonna get off of here now. So thank y'all for coming in. I appreciate it. I will see you guys next week, more than likely. Have a good rest of the week, and see you around. Thanks for being here. Oh, look at that. um, I appreciate y'all.